Chaverst show. You and me will always be tight. Chaverst giving up the day and night. And even when you start acting like a fool, we appreciate you cause it's all for the move. I know that I could always count on you to bring us all the new and latest news. And every day is a black man in this world. You know there's no one we'd rather hear it from. You and me will always be tight. Chaverst giving up the day and night. And even when you start acting like a fool, we appreciate you cause it's all for the move. I know that I could always count on you to bring us all the new and latest news. And every day is a black man in this world. You know there's no one we'd rather hear it from. It's the Carlo Chaverst show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We had so Facebook, they kicked us off. They kicked us off Facebook. They kicked us off Facebook. Jazmeen,
what the hell happened?
If you had to play some Boosie, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
You wouldn't have to worry. I played.
Who is in top five?
They said you going a little too far. You said you were going a little too far now. We'd have played music every single show. You know, like all kind of songs.
When we try to enlighten people with that song, you get what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, you can't.
They don't want black
y'all
people.
Christopher
No,
Columbus
that's
now.
really true though. What y'all are saying, like
White people
technology
can't
is
be
so
correct.
smart now. That's why I'm telling y'all about this movie.
Okay, yeah. So it is actually Movie Monday. So we're going to take a look at those. Let's get into Movie Monday first. It is Movie Monday, everybody. So Jazmeen, what do you have for us on Movie Monday?
Okay, so the movie that I seen, which I'm pretty sure like a lot of people seen this movie because I seen them talking about it on Facebook. But it's called The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix, y'all, and it is like a true documentary with real people that have worked for these companies, like that probably was partial owners in these companies that quit, or they played a big role, but they quit because of how real it was. It kind of like scared a lot of them. So you have like people from that work for Instagram, or that started off Instagram, they started off Facebook, they started off Google. You had the man that made Google Chrome, Google Cloud, Google. You know, you have all these people, and then they're basically saying how they're making trillions and trillions and trillions more every year because of how advanced technology is getting to the point where it's actually, and some people are going to deny it, and they're going to say, well, it ain't controlling me, but it literally is.
Yes.
It can be controlling the smartest man in the room or the richest man in the room. It's still controlling.
Yeah.
So you have people that left that, you know, didn't want to work there anymore because they discovered all this stuff while they was working there. So The Social Dilemma, basically, y'all need to watch it because it's like a true story, and then they got a story like it's like in the form of a movie and a documentary. People are like playing the examples out of what they were actually talking about, but it's crazy. Y'all should watch it like today.
So we actually did a review on it a few weeks ago. I think probably like 2 weeks ago, we did a review on The Social Dilemma. And what I'll do right now is, for those that have never seen this documentary, we're going to check out the trailer really quick. So stand by, everybody, as I bring the trailer for The Social Dilemma. Now, as Jazmeen said, so this particular documentary, there's something called algorithms, okay? And for those that don't know what algorithms are, an algorithm is basically a particular set of either numbers or different things that come together to be able to make your life better, in essence. All right. So an algorithm. So for instance, from the type of music you like, remember, for those that have an iPhone, all right, remember when you first set your iPhone up, you signed it to iCloud, you had to choose the different type of songs that you like so that it could recommend things for you. Well, based upon what you were clicking, those are the algorithms. Those algorithms were basically saying, okay, this is like they ask you a person, do you like Whitney Houston? Do you like Michael Jackson? Do you like Usher? Do you like these artists? So that they can figure out, okay, well then he likes this type of person, this type of music. She likes that type of music. So now we know what kind of stuff that she likes. That's an algorithm. All right. So when we figure that these social media companies, let's take Facebook, okay? Facebook has nearly 2 billion people on its social media platform. But when you think about it, they also have the least number of employees than any other company in the entire world. So who's running Facebook? These computers are. These algorithms are running it. And so we're going to watch the trailer for the social dilemma because I think this is a very important. We watched it like 2 weeks ago. We're going to watch it again because I think everybody deserves to watch this documentary once, and then we really need to have a real conversation around this particular documentary. But this is The Social Dilemma, which can be found on Netflix, and we do not own the rights to this movie or this documentary, whatever you call it, the music, whatever you want to call it. We don't own the rights to it.
When you go to Google and type in climate change is, you're going to see different results depending on where you live and the particular things that Google knows about your interests. That's not by accident. That's a design technique. What I want people to know is that everything they're doing online is being watched, is being tracked. Every single action you take is carefully monitored and recorded. A lot of people think Google's just a search box and Facebook's just a place to see what my friends are doing. What they don't realize is there's entire teams of engineers whose job is to use your psychology against you. I was the co-inventor of the Facebook like button. I was the president of Pinterest, Google, Twitter, Instagram. There were meaningful changes happening around the world because of these platforms. I think we were naive about the flip side of that coin.
We get rewarded by hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value, and we conflate it with truth.
A whole generation is more anxious, more depressed.
I always felt like fundamentally it was a force for good. I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
Facebook discovered that they were able to affect real world behavior and emotions without ever triggering the user's awareness. They are completely clueless.
Fake news spreads 6 times faster than true news. We're being bombarded with rumors.
If everyone's entitled to their own facts, there's really no need for people to come together. In fact, there's really no need for people to interact.
We have less control over who we are and what we really believe.
If you want to control the population of your country, there has never been a tool as effective as Facebook.
We built these things and we have a responsibility to change it. The intention could be, how do we make the world better? If technology creates mass chaos, loneliness, more polarization, more election hacking, more inability to focus on the real issues, we're toast. This is checkmate on humanity.
All right, so that's the Social Dilemma, which I encourage everybody to check out on Facebook. I mean on Netflix. I think that is a very important documentary that all of us should really watch as it pertains to what's happening in our culture and in our world. So Jazmeen, you're absolutely correct when you talk about that, and it is kind of frightening, right? When you think
and
about.
Then can I say something real quick about the documentary before I forget? It was 2 things, or maybe like 3 or 4 things that kind of like grabbed my attention. So the part that freaked me out was they had this scene where you know how like a holograph person looks is not a real person. So it was just this figure of like a guy, you know, on his phone, on his social media. They're actually controlling it. Like he said, they capture everything that you look at all day, every day. That's not a lie. So
Right.
On what you're interested in or whatever, pertaining to what you're interested in is what you're going to see the most.
But
so,
yeah.
like for example, and another example, like the so let's say Facebook, everything that you look at on Facebook, they're capturing this stuff. So for instance, they know when you broke up with your ex. They know who you're dating, who you broke up with, and who they're dating next. And they're going to put it in places where you can see it so they can control these emotions so you can stay on all day because you're not going to stop scrolling at some point. And people going to be in and out their phone all day. So it's just scary, like how it's
right. And even how you have to look at, so take this for instance. All right, so everybody has a Facebook timeline, and your Facebook timeline, you only see no more than this, than at least if you have 5,000 friends, you only see the post of probably the same 50 to 100 so people.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? That's because those are the people that you're most likely to interact with. So the algorithms has it that because it's very impossible for you to see 5,000 people's posts every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So the algorithms are going to give you posts based upon who you're likely to interact with. So
and then
if you build an interaction, so if there's somebody who you've never interacted before, they never showed up on your timeline, but one day you like a photo or something, well, guess what? Now they're going to show up on your timeline and all this kind of other stuff. These are the algorithms that Facebook has built. And so you just got to know, for me, what I've been doing, listen, I've been out of Facebook jail for the past few months. All right? I ain't been in Facebook jail in a while. I got out August the 5th or something like that. I remember getting out August the 5th of Facebook jail, and I ain't been back since. Because guess what? I've learned how to beat Facebook algorithms, okay? And so, but that's the thing. Like when you going to Facebook jail is the thing that no one person controls. There's no one person that says that's sitting behind a computer saying, oh, let me put this person in Facebook jail. It's the algorithms, okay? The algorithms, and because of algorithms, like, so a person initiates the initial algorithm, all right? But as the algorithm develops, it's like a baby, all right? The baby develops over time, but algorithms develop more rapidly, all right? And the more rapidly this algorithm is, the older this child is, you can't tell this child nothing. So that his algorithm has a mind of its own. And so they're doing what they want to do. So that's why people can say certain words like black, and just because they say black, they get thrown into Facebook jail. So that's because these algorithms are so advanced and they're so, have a mind of their own that they're just taking off. And that's why people are going to Facebook jail for certain words. So that's what we have to kind of, to take into consideration as it pertains to how all this stuff works. So even with, the things that you like, you can say something in your phone. The next thing you know is up on your timeline. Why is that? Well, because Facebook recognized because of these algorithms that's something that you're more than likely to engage
and
with.
look, their whole purpose is for us to stay on for as long as we can. That's why some people who watch the movie was like, after I watched the movie, I turned my notifications off, because every time you get in the notification, you're going to be prone to go to the notification, and you're going to stay, and you're going to keep scrolling, and you're going to keep going. And then if you are a naive person and you don't believe that you do this, you can go in your settings and see how long you spent on each app. So in a day, you can do that. And like, that's why I'm saying it's kind of like a takeover. The more you sit on there and scroll all day, the more money they're making.
Yeah.
So they are controlling your life.
Yeah.
Like, we're actually supposed to be the ones
control.
You can take control.
Yeah.
Like me, for example, I'm gonna give you one example. I had 5,000 friends on Facebook. I've been on Facebook for 10 years. Now, 3,000 of these people I don't know them.
Yeah.
So I just did a sweep, and I think I removed like 2,500 people. And ever since then, I ain't gonna lie, like, my timeline seemed less toxic. But I think Facebook wanted it to stay that way, and they're not gonna assume that it's going to be 100 people that's going to go delete 3,000 friends. They don't want you to do that. They want you to continue to add and add and add. A
person on Facebook said, Antonio Lewis, Antonio in Atlanta, he said, but Amazon does the same thing, and so that's exactly correct. So actually, mostly now, okay, as technology advanced, more companies, almost all companies, are going to start using algorithms, even when it comes to companies like Target and Instacart or Ship, food delivery service. Like, all those things are triggered by algorithms. Okay, and so you just got to understand how algorithms work. But almost everything will be, after a while, necessarily not human based, but more so computer driven. Okay, why is Trump tweeting that the election is rigged? Like he's up tweeting right now. Shit rigged. Okay, but
And
anyway,
it's funny when we talk about just how algorithms work and just the control of the cellular device in general. It even affects businesses. Like a lot of businesses don't do physical promotion anymore, like flyers, business cards, and stuff like that, just because the majority of the time, even when people are in their cars, they're on their phone. So like the big promotion thing back then was to just put your flyers up everywhere. We're gonna put we're gonna get 5,000 flyers, and we're gonna flood the city with flyers, because people would be riding and they would be looking at just random things. You can put a flyer on a post right here, or you can leave a flyer up somewhere. But now it even affected the way that I do promotions on my own thing. Like I do no physical promotion. All my promotion is done either through ads on Facebook or text blasts, because all day, every day, from the moment people wake up in the morning, they're attached to their cellular device.
They talked about this in the movie too. So it's crazy that you say that.
Yeah.
They literally talked about advertisement and how that's another thing. Yeah. So
because
if you're a computer illiterate, it's kind of hard to
to
promote your
understand
business thing.
Yeah, but so here's the thing, as it pertains to like even advertisement. All right, so when you think about it, like all these sites are what are quote unquote free, okay, but free doesn't necessarily mean that it's free. Okay, so it's free, all right, but our information is being sold in order for them to advertise to us. Okay, even myself, I have taken out advertisement on Facebook. Okay. Facebook algorithms, I tell them the number of people I want to target, the age group I want to target, and Facebook knows how to break it down based upon who needs to see this advertisement based upon the dollar amount that you put out. All right. That's how Facebook algorithms work. And so that's just the bottom line to it. With advertising, it's all about the marketing dollars. It's all about how much money can we bring in. Facebook is one of the wealthiest companies in the world. All right.
And how in
the hell is this free website such a profitable website? Because of the advertising dollars, all right? And that's all. That's it. That is it. And it's so easy to manipulate. Think about this too. In 2016, I might not know this, all right? In 2016, the Trump campaign spent $94 million in Facebook advertisement, all right? Just Facebook advertisement, all right? And that's a lot of money, okay, just for one organization. And that is how Trump won. People don't want to talk about how did Trump actually win. You break the numbers down. This man was on Facebook, okay? These older base of his, guess what? They on Facebook too. You know, this would be in these little news
Facebook
channels.
is the largest platform.
Had all this stuff going on, but guess what? Them same people, the same advertisement Trump was putting out then, they were feeding into, they were taking in, you know, and that is what drove them to vote for Donald Trump. So they put a lot of money into this stuff, and that's what it comes down to. So we just got to be careful with these, you know, with all this kind of stuff. Appreciate that, Jazmeen. That's a good movie. Everybody check out The Social Dilemma.
Please go watch it. Please.
Yes, please catch The Social Dilemma. It is on Netflix. I encourage every single person out there to check that out. What's up, everybody? Let us know where you guys are watching from. Miss Whit George said, "Good morning, Carlos, and congratulations. Appreciate you. We certainly appreciate you." Miss Stella Irvin said, "Great show." Miss Irvin, thank you for tuning in. What's good, everybody? Listen, we got more of the Carlos Chaverst Jr. Morning Show coming up next. Stand by, don't go anywhere.
ET for whole life Marshall. I love you, Kimchi.
He has done it again. That's right. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Snipe Young has done it once again. Certified gold.
Certified gold. The new Native Instruments, Snipe Young expansion.
Don't stop.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Carlos Chaverst Jr. Morning Show. You guys are tuned in with me, Jazmeen, and Murdaham. Jazmeen, what's good, Jazmeen? How your week been last week? What you do last week? We didn't get a chance to really talk to you, but what did you do last week?
Well, I actually worked every day. I was really focused last week. I didn't really do a lot. So
Okay.
That's really
Okay.
it. I was working. That's all, just working. You guys turned
Okay.
up in LA. I know you guys had fun.
Yes. Murdaham, what was your best part about LA?
My best part of LA. The best part of LA was probably the first day we was on what was that, Hollywood
Hollywood
when
Boulevard.
yeah, we saw everybody. We saw titties out there for the first day. We was pretty lit that day, man. I think that was actually my birthday. Was that my birthday?
Sunday, yeah. Because we got there Saturday, and so that was Sunday. Yeah.
Happy belated
I threw up there and
birthday.
everything.
What
It was
did
lit that day.
y'all do for the B day?
For the C day.
For the C day. That's right.
What we did, we ate. We really didn't do that, man. We got lit.
Yeah, I seen a picture.
We went through a fifth of Hennessy.
I seen a picture of you smoking the doobie while you was waiting on your food at the restaurant. That's how they get down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, technically they don't, but at that restaurant and at that time, it was like, I mean, hey, like, what are you gonna do? You gonna put us out? I mean, put us out. Our food's already on the way. So I mean, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do at this point?
So, just for the record,
the food was horrible there.
Yeah, the food is terrible.
Really?
Go to No Ho's Diner if you're ever in
No
LA.
Ho's Diner
Go
is
to No
terrible.
Ho's Diner.
But honestly, there's
called
not
No Ho's.
There's not very good food in LA anyway. The entire week. The only good place that I feel like I ate at, or we probably ate at, was Bossa Nova. And that was that was it. But we went to Bubblegum Strip. That was straight, but man, Bossa Nova was good. But outside of Bossa Nova, we were there 7 days. I didn't have any really real good food outside of Bossa Nova, and that was on Sunday. So that was on the second day we were there.
Except for them vegan noodles you found at the gas station.
Oh yes, those vegan noodles. Oh my god, I had some of the best vegan noodles of my life. I bought when I went, got them, because I really eat noodles, so I didn't know what to expect, and so I got them, got one pack, and I was like, oh, I gotta go get some more. Ended up going get 4-5 packs of them boys. They were good with the munchies. But
yeah, man, with all the work that we had set up, it was kind of hard to play a little bit and work. But we did a lot of playing, did a lot of LA culture. We went to we seen Universal Studios. It's kind of hard. We wanted to do a lot of stuff, but due to COVID, a lot of stuff is just still closed. And me, I'm coming from Atlanta. I'm from Birmingham, but I live in Atlanta now. And Atlanta's been wide open since May. I mean, whatever you want to do, you pretty much can do it from clubs to Six Flags is open.
Yeah,
like everything is open in Atlanta.
yeah.
So going to LA and they have barricades up still, and you know restaurants are still closed. They have no dine-in seating. You can only sit outside and eat.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
So it's really different
restricting.
down there.
Yeah, it is. It's much different. And then like, but that goes to show you though, you know, that like how different states are like responding to COVID. So like when you look at Georgia, for instance, Georgia is a Republican state in a sense, and with the Republican governor, he don't have real stipulations in place today. And as a result, people don't have masks. You know, you are able to go in restaurants, basically do whatever. But when you have a state like California, who has a Democratic governor, Governor Newsom, then it's much different because that governor is like, no, we need to take COVID more seriously. As a result, we're still not having dine-in, no dine-in anywhere. Museums are still closed. You know, we're still taking this thing serious. And it's been that way since the very beginning of this pandemic. All right. Even in places like New Mexico. New Mexico has a Democratic governor, a woman governor. And like I was upset when I went to New Mexico and couldn't do anything. I want to do like hot air balloons. I want to do a lot of other different things in New Mexico. But when I got there, there's like, oh, there's no gatherings of more than 5 people. But everything that you do around here it involves more than 5 people. And so that essentially canceled everything in New Mexico. And as a result, it's still the same way in New Mexico today. You know, but that goes to show the difference. And when you look at even in places like Florida, all right, Florida has a Republican governor who is the most dumbest governor in the entire United States. But he, as a result of him being so dumb, like their laws are more relaxed because of COVID, and he even took back the mask mandate. So you don't even have to wear a mask at all in Florida, per the governor's order. And so, you know, but that goes to show how different states are responding to COVID. And so you get a chance to see, you saw firsthand just how different it was in LA versus where you are back home. Even here in Denver. Now, Denver is a much more like California, okay? But in terms of the numbers of people, is much smaller. So California has 55 million people. Colorado doesn't have anywhere near 55 million. And so, but Colorado, you see everybody has to wear masks. We have to wear masks everywhere we go here. But the difference is we're able to have dine-in. We're able to sit in restaurants and eat. That's one of the biggest difference. So there's like, I was like, when we got to LA, like, oh, you can't dine in anywhere, you know, like we can in Colorado, you know, but everywhere everybody wears a mask still, though, you know. So it's just different everywhere you go, and that's the thing, you know, when you don't have real leadership, like in the president, to say everybody across the country need to follow under one order. Either everybody's going to wear a mask or everybody's not going to wear a mask. You know, it needs to be unilateral across the board, or you're going to go different places looking crazy, not understanding, well, how does their laws work? You know, how does this laws work? And so even when it comes down to states' rights, it's a whole different subject. But ain't no such thing as states' rights, okay? Like people have rights. Okay, you have a right. I have a state don't have no damn right. Okay, what right does a state have? Okay, so when we say stuff like, oh, states' rights and all this kind of stuff, and say, oh, well, let's leave it up to the states. Well, no, why would we leave it up to the states? You know, like that's the stupidest thing ever. You know, so but that's what we. So that's the. But I'm glad, you know, we overall though, for this to be a pandemic, I feel like LA was a phenomenal time. We met some great people, some dope people like you. And the thing about LA is you never know who it is you're gonna bump into. Like you just out, like we're just out riding some scooters. And there's a little white woman walking her dog, and you know, Murdaham started making conversation with her. Come to find out, this lady used to sing with Emma. She sung with everybody, you know. So, and she's a DJ, and so you never know who you meet. And like everybody in LA making money, you know, ain't nobody really like either you're homeless or you're not, you know, and like if you're not, then you're doing pretty good, you know, for the most part. All right. And so that's the difference. So I say, for me, anybody I walk into, if we make eye contact, I will speak to you because I never know who it is and I'm running into, you know. And so that's how we were able to meet a lot of people. Even at the airport, when we first got there, Murdaham, you met a professional soccer player.
Yeah. Spencer Muller. If you follow the LA Force, it was actually a weird event. We first got to LA. If you've been to LA, then you know. If you've ever had to take a Lyft or an Uber from the airport, then you know how expensive it is. So we're trying to find Lyft, and everybody's getting this alert that says finding drivers. So nobody could find a driver. So when me and Los finally got a driver, there was a guy sitting there, and just me being the personal person I am, I'm in LA. I'm here to have a good time, pocket full of money, pocket full of weed. We finna have a good ball, you know what I'm saying? So I struck up a conversation with the guy that was sitting next to us having the same issue trying to find a Lyft. So I found one, so I offered to add a stop on my Lyft so that he wouldn't have to continuously wait on the Lyft of his own. We were going in the same direction. And come to find out, his name is Spencer Muller. He plays for LA Force, which is a professional soccer team. So we connected, and we'll actually be having him on the show soon. So yeah, shout out to Spencer. Actually saved us about $40 a piece in doing that, you know what I'm saying? Because my Uber was initially like $62 going where we were. I paid like $34 just because we split it up, and him going where he was going and us going where we was going. We had a great conversation on the way there. So yeah, shout out to Spencer Muller, man. LA Force. He actually just signed a new contract. So if you follow him on Instagram, you'll see him inking his deal or whatever. So we'll soon have Spencer Muller on the College Chaverst Jr. show. So it's just weird, like you said, you never know who you're speaking with or who's in your presence. And that's why I always push your network. Your network is your network. So we got to get out, speak, stop being so conservative. You know, everybody feels like they've achieved this level to where we don't have to interact with anybody. And that goes back to the movie that Jazmeen highlighted in Movie Monday. Our cellular devices have us in a mindset to where we don't really interact with people the way that we should interact and build those relationships because we're so busy interacting with our cellular device. So get out and talk to people more, man. Stop being so stuck up and uptight and smile and say what's up, man, and speak to somebody that you don't know, man, because you never know who you may be speaking to.
Definitely.
Like a hello could change your life. Like a hey, how you doing could turn into a business deal worth millions of dollars just based off of who you're having a conversation with.
And then it'd be the most everyday people. Like it's the most everyday people. Like, you know, like when like, and it's like we have this idea of what successful people probably look like. So you probably think,
Exactly.
you know, everybody, you know, I should only speak to people that have suits on or, you know, that's well dressed. That's not necessarily the case. Okay, like most people, they are regular people, and most people don't like to wear suits and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna see these folks almost looking bombed out, almost, you know, in most cases. But they're still most, you know, they got money, they know people, they got, you know, they have careers, they have knowledge, they got, you know, so many other things, but you just never know. So I say anytime. All right, if I get on the elevator with somebody, I'm gonna speak to you. You know, like, yo, how you doing? What floor you going to? How can I help you? And then he's like, then now you got to be even more careful because these masks has already kind of altered us as well as humans. So like our facial expressions, so we're not as, you know, expressional because we had these masks on. Like why am I smiling behind this mask if you cannot see my smile? You know, and that's the kind of line of thinking that we have. And so with that, you know, we're less emotional now, I believe, as people because of these masks. Like you're not smiling as much. You're not you know, like, you know, your facial expressions are not how they used to be just much, you know, last year, a year ago. All right. And that, you know, for those that do smile, everybody don't smile, but for people that do smile that often and where it's always shown is not probably shown as more because of the mask we wear. So all of that is, you know, plays a role, you know.
Yeah, if you think about it, we all have an uncomfortable look on our faces now just because the mask is irritating anyway. So everybody kind of looks from the eyes up, their eyebrows. As soon as you put the mask on, it's like your eyebrows do this because like I got this fucking mask on. I want to wear this shit. So we already, you know what I'm saying, looking irritated from the eyes up, you know. So when you got this mask on and then you're already trying to communicate with people and it's muffled, and then now you got to adjust the mask, and some people wearing thick masks and they can't breathe, so it's already irritating. So the mask is kind of subconsciously changing everybody's mentality.
Yeah.
It's like you put the mask on and you.
Speaking of that, this is a breaking news alert, everybody. This is breaking news. Please switch that goddamn mask out. Okay, you've been wearing that mask for 2 damn weeks. Please switch that damn mask out right now. Right now. Take a second. Stop what you're doing. Breaking news. We'll put that bitch into the washing machine or something right this second. But take a second. Whatever you're doing, switch that mask out. Okay, I done seen too many folk around here with that mask looking like you've been having on since the beginning of quarantine. That is not okay. Okay, your mask does not look like you wore that. Your mask does not
We're
look.
gonna start going up to people and doing the mask test, like how folks do when people be like with the diamond test. We're gonna do the ears and nose test on your mask. So we're gonna walk up and we're gonna offer people. We probably like, yeah, we'll give you $5 to let us see the inside of your mask.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
y'all gotta get the fake pills because you know those masks be full of makeup. I know mine do.
Exactly.
Like ladies, you gotta like that. Like, listen, it's one thing when makeup build up on your face, but it's another thing when it build up on your mask. Okay, like that. Like makeup is starting to build up on your mask, and that's how I can tell that mask. You know, you've been had that mask for about 2 weeks. Because the more makeup
and
on
you can tell who got that cheap makeup too now when they got that mask, because they take that mask off and all this be gone right here.
Yeah.
all this foundation be gone.
It's some sweaty days with my best food.
That's what I said. But you know, you got to put that setting on there. A lot of folks don't know about putting that, that setting spray on there. Man, hey man, look. Hey man.
You know something.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying?
All I ask is to change the damn mask out. Okay, you should not be walking around here with them same mask on. That's all I'm saying. If you need a mask, please let us know. We're gonna start sending. I'll send you a mask, but it's gonna be a little surgical mask, but it's a mask, and I'll send it in the mail. You'll get it, but it's gonna be a little mask. But everybody have your mask on. Jazmeen, where your mask at? Because you're over there coughing. You got your mask?
I got a few of them right
You got a few of them. Okay, cool.
You just left the store. You ain't had no mask on. You at the store.
You didn't have the mask on in the store.
That's because it was 5:30 in the morning. Wasn't nobody in that store.
What if somebody had just left it there and coughed? Cough stay up.
Listen,
they had
7 to 15 minutes.
COVID worked from 9 to 5. You said
COVID wasn't at work.
You got to catch COVID
at work when you went to the
She said you got to catch COVID during regular business hours, or you don't catch it at all. You don't catch it at all. All right, so listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, everybody, and we're going to be right back with more of the Carlos Chaverst Jr. Show. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys got going on, so let us know in our comments. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are all over the place. We everywhere.
Everywhere.
We everywhere. We're going to be everywhere. Good morning to you. What city you tuned in from? What city in the country are you watching from right now? Let us know you're tuned in to the Carlos Chaverst Jr. Morning Show.
I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Comfortably indulging and trying to get to know me. I'm just an outline of what I used to be, constantly evolving, steadily revolving. Confidently lost. I don't need you to find me. You don't define me. Confidently lost. I don't need you to find me, 'cause I'm not hiding.
Woo woo! That's some good art, man. That's some very, very, very good, talented art right there. All right, good morning to everybody. Cedrica, good morning to you. She said she tuned in from Birmingham, Alabama. You knew. Shout out to Belma. Shout out to Belma. Everybody in Belma, wake up. Listen, listen, out of
Birmingham.
Birmingham, Bessemer got the best food. Okay, like I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, so I like soul food particularly because I only get the sides. They give me a vegetable plate at a good soul food restaurant, and I'm good. That's all I need for about 2 more hours. All right, but anyway, I go get me. I can't never find no real good soul food in Birmingham. Or everybody like to put meat in vegetables. I don't understand it. Like meat,
Don't season it.
No, you season it with seasoning, not meat. That's not how it works. And people need to understand that because everybody can't eat it. Okay, like I don't want to eat no damn collard greens that taste like no god daggone bacon. Well, if I want to eat some bacon, guess what? I'll eat some bacon. I don't want to eat no. I don't
use turkey necks.
That's still meat.
Well, yeah. And what boggles me with like the whole vegetarian thing, the whole vegan thing is y'all have meatless meat. So if y'all so opposed to meat, then why create meatless meat? Like,
stay your lane now. Hey, listen. Stay your lane now, dog. All right.
I'm just asking.
Listen, you still
if
but
y'all so opposed to
I'm not
meat,
wanting to actually
y'all want hamburgers.
I'm not what so because like we can all right, so like I could like something but understand that it's not good for me. All right. So even in my past choice in women, okay. So like, you know, I could like a woman, but I could also know that that woman was not good for me. Okay. So the same thing with eating food. Okay. I like bacon, but I know bacon ain't good for me. So what I'm going to do, if there's a veggie bacon, if I can eat a veggie bacon, I can still get the idea of bacon without actually eating bacon, and it's much more healthier. Oh, this is it. Okay. Same thing with my sausage, with my turkey, my veggie sausage that I eat every morning. All right. And so, but that's the thing for me. It's like, so, you know, but I don't fool with the people who like, so like the Beyond meat, that ain't really meat. Like the Beyond is like to actually give you the texture of actual Angus burger. You know, I'm not with that. But it's plant-based. You know, I don't want to have the texture of an Angus burger. All right. That's why I gave up burgers. You know, so and even to the point where like I eat, but I will eat a veggie burger, a black bean burger, okay, which is much more different than a big, you know, like because most of those Beyond burgers are pretty big. The Beyond burger that Burger King said, I wouldn't eat that, okay, because it still like give the texture of meat. Now a veggie burger doesn't give the texture of meat, okay, but it gives the idea of me eating a burger, if that makes sense.
It does have a meat consistency though, just with the way that it's formed and everything. And I mean, I just said
with that idea of a burger is not like it's not the texture
but
of
the perception. It's the perception that the vegan or the vegetarian lifestyle is healthier. And from my perspective, the majority of the vegans that I know are overweight just because of the starch and everything that's based in, or the majority of the stuff that they know. So a lot of the vegan people I know are bigger than they were when they ate just regular food. So I mean, I feel like it's a perception of which one is healthier, which one is healthy. That's because they really not eating they're not eating vegan. You know what I'm saying? They vegan, but it's not consistent vegan diet of everything vegan, because if you're eating everything,
I know people that are completely vegan, and I know people who are completely vegan
that are skinny,
like. Well, not necessarily skinny to like where they're like, you know, anorexic or something, or like, you know, just like very petite, but, you know, to the point where they are average build, you know, either male or female who happens to be vegan, you know, but, you know, they're also, like it's everything is tied to your diet. Okay. So everything in your body is tied to what you eat. Okay. And so like,
and moderation as well.
In moderation, but that's neither here nor there because people don't do in moderation. So we can't we're talking about something that people.
But I mean, some people eat way more than other people though. So like, even though they're eating healthier, it
But
don't mean that you're not eating more than you should be eating portion wise.
huh?
Just because, like, when I'm saying in moderation, not saying like some people just because they're vegan, they still eat more than they're supposed to eat, from a caloric intake value. As far as I'm still putting more food in my body than I should, even though it's vegan. And some people don't eat. Like me, I may eat one large meal a day. Some people eat 3 meals a day. Like I gotta eat breakfast, I gotta eat lunch, I gotta eat dinner, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's a vegan and they may not. And then some people eat obsessively. Like they eat in the morning, then they eat a snack, and then they eat lunch, then they eat a snack again, and then they eat dinner, then they eat 2 snacks before they go to sleep. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean as far as in moderation and consumption wise.
Most vegans that I know, and I know quite a few vegans. I've been like
Because
around.
you eating healthy don't mean you're not eating a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, that's what
you
I'm
may
getting.
eat 4 vegan burgers when you're
They
supposed
don't
to eat
eat.
one.
For most vegans that I know, they eat in moderation. So they typically, eat here or there. They'll eat twice a day. They're watching what they eat. That's just like so. In a typical vegan mindset, that's what people have now. People just out here, like because vegan is an actual lifestyle. So like, it's not just about eating vegan. Like to be vegan is to live a vegan lifestyle. Okay, and so that's a totally different aspect. So people just out here wilding, they just eating food and say, "Oh, I'm vegan." Like I don't profess to be vegan, but
I'm not saying that they wilding and eating food. I'm saying that they just naturally eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? And just because it's vegan food doesn't mean that over consuming it isn't gonna, change your weight. That's what I'm saying. Not saying that they not living the lifestyle because they still do the same things with not using the
regardless of because the intake, what they're eating, because again, everything that's inside your body is tied to what you're eating. And so like now with the exercise is a different aspect. So if like they're not exercising, then that's a totally different aspect, So if like you have a vegan person who is overweight, that doesn't say so they could be vegan to help them lose some weight. Maybe they could be vegan for different reasons, but
no, I'm saying going from small to big. That's what I'm saying. I give you an example when Dad went on his Dad used to be the same size.
Yeah, but I don't think he was like ever vegan.
And he went to like an alternative eating style. And he gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
One of my homies, Jerz, we was the same size, and he went completely vegan, and he gained like 100 pounds.
Well, it just depends on what you like. It depends on what people consider like. So you gotta look at their diet. So like, if people are eating noodles is not like vegan. Like it's not.
They have vegan noodles though.
They do have vegan noodles, but that's a totally different thing. But people will have to actually be buying vegan noodles. Now, if they're buying vegan noodles, then let's have another conversation. But I don't like if people going out and eating.
But that doesn't still take away from the fact that people eating larger portions than they should. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that vegan food isn't healthy, but if you eat if you sit down and you have 4 vegan burgers versus eating 1 or 2, then that's still overconsumption. That still doesn't mean that you're not living a vegan lifestyle. That just means that you may have a larger appetite and a slower metabolism.
Right. Okay. Now here's the thing. You cannot say you're vegan and eat bread. Bread is not vegan. Okay. Bread is not.
They have vegan bread though.
Okay, but for
what do you like? That's what I'm saying. Like they have vegan everything, bro.
They do, but people are not going to, when you go to a restaurant, you get a vegan burger, they're not serving you a vegan patty on a vegan bun. Okay. So like, or even people are not buying vegan bread, like I don't even know like where to find really good vegan bread. Okay. And so like, it's just like
you go to a vegan store.
I go to vegan store. That's where I shop.
So you got to go in. You got it. I'm pretty sure if you go in the bread section,
I know how
vegan store.
Listen, I have done.
There's gonna be vegan bread.
I know. I shop vegan, so I know what they have. They don't have vegan bread. Okay,
they don't have vegan bread.
Have vegan bread in the store that I go to. No, they do not have vegan bread, and so
they got vegan. So they found a way to recreate the texture of meat But you mean to tell me that they don't have no bread?
I did not say that the place that I go to don't even sell the meat substitute. Only like a Kroger sell that. Kroger, a bigger store like Kroger is not like we have King Super here, not Kroger. King Super sells the meatless ground, but they don't sell vegan bread or nothing like that. So the vegan stores don't sell the meatless ground, but they sell other actual vegan items because like the meatless ground contains soy. Soy would not be necessarily considered all the way vegan. It's just like soy isn't necessarily considered vegan. So with that, that's kind of how that goes. So yeah. We're going to dig deep more into that topic because I think that's a pretty good topic that we need to cover. What does it mean to be vegan? Is vegan an actual lifestyle? We need to really, really, really get into that. You guys are tuned in to the Carlos Everett Jr. Morning Show. What's good, everybody? We're just winding down. We're down to our last 20 minutes of the show. And it's time. Well, let's see. Stella Irvin said, let's go to Facebook. She said, although some people chose the vegan lifestyle out of ethical concerns for animals, the diet itself can have some health benefits. According to recent studies, being vegan may even help you lose a significant amount of weight. And that is exactly true. Being vegan certainly can help you lose weight. And, because of, I guess, you're eating more vegetables. And so a lot of people don't realize that, like, the more, like, starches you eat, the more breads you eat and all that kind of stuff. So like if you like cornbread, if you have to have, bread with every meal, like that is what's, kind of fuels is the wheat, even beer. I got a beer belly. Why do I have a beer belly? I used to drink beer a lot, and beer so I got a little beer belly, and so but that's just, that's just how it is. It's wheat. So we gotta watch your wheat intake, and that is the ultimate thing to it. Just watch the intake of foods you take. It's not that hard. Just watch what you take in.
Moderation.
I'm gonna cook breakfast. I'm gonna cook some vegan sausage, vegan bacon, some grits, and some waffles. Okay, and that's what I'm gonna have for breakfast. And I probably won't eat again until it's time for probably a late lunch. I'm gonna eat a little late lunch, a little snack or something, a little bowl of cereals. And then I'm probably gonna eat dinner.
The cereals.
Cereals, yeah. I'm gonna eat me a little bowl of cereals before I go, and then I'm gonna eat me a little late dinner, probably about 9-10 o'clock before I go to sleep at 11 o'clock, and that's how my day goes. So I get me 3 good meals. I eat 3 times a day, or try to. When I'm at home, I eat 3 times a day: breakfast, late lunch, late dinner. Nevertheless, I eat. But that's
why you sleep at 11 o'clock.
Well, I'm sleep at 11 because that's I like to sleep early. I'm an old man, like my body gets so accustomed. Then I wake up early, so like when my body go to sleep, I got to go to sleep. So it's not that I be wanting to go to sleep at 11. My body just naturally goes to sleep at 11, and then I'm naturally up by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And so like night,
it's because you got extra stuff in your body,
huh?
It's because you put all the extra stuff in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I don't always eat before I go to sleep.
You're technically not supposed to eat 3 times a day though, because your body, once you go to sleep, your body's in it because you're not.
Especially
your body's
right
in a state of fasting.
Sleep. Like you ain't be able
to you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat before you go to sleep because initially when you go to sleep, your body's in a state of fasting. So
all do things
you're supposed to drink water. You're supposed to drink water when you wake up.
That's what I do. I drink. No, so I drink more water than anything. I drink at least 64 ounces of water a day. So I actually have a cup. I mean a water bottle that I fill it up probably 5 or 6 times a day, and it goes up to like 24 ounces, and it shows like 8 ounces, 16 ounces, and 24 ounces. And so so I'm making sure that I watch the amount of water that I drink every single day. And so I try to make sure that, and even, so I'm a numbers guy. So even when I use the bathroom, like I'm trying to engage with, just how, how light is my pee, cause I like all that, like stuff like that always matters to me. They might, might be funny, but like, stuff like that really matters, because I know if my pee is like dark orange, like you like, yo, I need to drink some water. This ain't right, because I know me. And so, but that's like all of us need to kind of be taking on stuff like that, like, and water, like water is the biggest aspect of it, and like, so, but I drink.
Your pee can actually be too clear too.
It can be too clear. And especially like you said,
and that's a sign of diabetes too in black men. So if your pee is just clear all the time, and you ain't drinking no water like that, you know what I'm saying?
Dehydration. So for instance, after drinking alcohol, my pee
and
changes.
Also a sign of diabetes too.
Well, diabetes and dehydration, not necessarily always diabetes, but more so
but
dehydration.
I'm just saying it's a sign of diabetes.
It is, but it has to be constant. So if it's not constant, then it's just dehydration. But if it's a constant thing, like if every day you pee and it's clear, then that's an issue, But like for instance, for me, my pee is only clear when I drink alcohol, which means I'm drinking more things that's consuming things out of me and is dehydrating me, and I don't have enough water in me. And so, but then that's anybody. Like obviously, everybody that drink alcohol, we're not, for the most part, not drinking water right as we're drinking alcohol. So it's dehydrating us at that time. That means that we're actually dehydrated. It's just starting to dehydrate us. And but but it's science. I love science. Especially like I hated anatomy though.
I mean, I hate science to an extent because even with scientific facts, people still debate science. Even with the flat earth thing. Like,
Okay. Is Earth flat or not?
I believe Earth is flat. I believe the spherical aspect of it comes from the eyeball because our eyes are spheres. So the depth perception in our eyeballs, if we had flat eyes, then we would understand that. But if you even look at the travels of airplanes, you know what I'm saying? And for somebody that was in an airplane, 35,000 feet, you know what I'm saying? It was flat. There was no curvature in that, you know what I'm saying? So even if you look at the pictures of the flat earth map, everything lines up with the quote unquote globed earth. I feel like if they had followed that mode from the beginning, things would be a lot different, but it's all a perception thing, I guess.
So like originally I thought, so a few years ago, I used to think that the earth was flat. And I did a lot of research behind it, and I carried it around for a long time. Like, the earth is flat, and nobody's telling me anything different. The earth is freaking flat. I know it's flat because the astronaut, what was his name? Neil Armstrong. Was that him? Neil Armstrong. Because Neil Armstrong never confirmed that the earth was round. That's how I know that it's flat. So I did a lot of research, and that's true that he never did confirm that the earth was in fact round. Matter of fact, when he went to the moon,
he never went to the moon. Well,
I won't say that he did not go to the moon, but I think they did go to the moon. But and so because the moon is so close to Earth, they weren't able to see the entire Earth, and because of it, they were never able to. So in essence, what I'm saying is they weren't able to see.
So did they land on the opposite side of the moon from the Earth? So they went around the moon and landed on the dark side? They didn't land on the side that we see.
I'm saying, the moon, in comparison to the size of Earth, the moon is much smaller, Earth is much bigger. So when they got there, they could not see that it was in fact sphere because they couldn't see the entire thing. So because they could only see so much of it, they couldn't definitively say, oh, the Earth is completely round. Now, the hypothesis is that it is round, but they never concluded that it was round because it was too big and too bright for them to really see. So for people now that saying that they are going outer space and showing us pictures of a round Earth, I don't really tend to believe that because the moon is still the same distance away as it was then as it is now from the Earth. And if it was too big for even Neil Armstrong and his entire crew, they couldn't even talk about it. It took Neil Armstrong to do an interview about him landing on the moon until 30 years after he landed on the moon. Okay, because they couldn't talk about it because for all the government knew, the government thought that the Earth was round. and they wanted people to know that the Earth was round. But Neil Armstrong didn't see a round Earth. Even when they had to go before Congress and testify, they asked them, "Is the Earth round?" They couldn't even say before Congress that the Earth was round at the time.
Yeah. So I mean, my perception on that comes again, like we have that. How far is the Earth? How far is the moon from Earth?
Let's see. How far is the moon from the Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Here's some information.
All right. So the moon is the astronomical body orbiting Earth and is the planet's only natural satellite. It's the fifth largest satellite in the solar system and by far the largest among planetary satellites relative to the size of the planet that it orbits. The moon is thought to have formed about, okay, they don't give how far it is though. What's the destination?
So the moon is way further than the deepest part of the ocean, right?
That would
So
be correct.
we still have what 95% of the ocean that's unexplored. We can't get that deep to explore the ocean, but we can go hundreds of thousands of miles into the sky and find out what the moon is like. But we don't have the technology to, you know, explore the ocean.
No, yes, absolutely. You are 100% correct. You're 100% correct. Now, however, there are countries who do have the capabilities and the technologies. For instance, China. So recently, the United States, we just found out that China has been underground, you know, exploring the ocean for at least 10 years now. Okay, we just found that out. We don't have the technology. Okay, our people are not as smart as the Chinese people. Okay, we're not as smart, you know.
But we got to the moon though.
Smart, huh? I won't say not as
but
smart.
We got to the moon though.
But we got who?
We got technology to make it to the moon in outer space, but we can't.
Well, you got to understand. You have to understand how the government and the role that it plays in all of this. Like the number one thing that every country. So as it pertains to being outer space, okay, there's a lot. So you guys got to watch the movie Geostorm. Okay, Geostorm kind of put in perspective what's going on. All right, there's a reason Donald Trump created the Space Force when he became president, okay? Because the space is number one territory that could ultimately become a war zone as well, but it's the number one place that all the countries would like to occupy, okay? If you can control what's in the air, what's in space, you can control a lot of things that's happening not only in your country, but across the entire globe, all right? So that's what every country is after. So it is not undoubtable that we have all these space explorations, just like they sailed across America, they're sailing across the solar system, because that's what they are after. Okay, China, Russia.
It takes a different kind of technology to do that versus. So you're telling me that the technology to go to the moon is far less advanced than the technology needed to explore the bottom of the earth.
Obviously, in the United States, it is. That's what the science tells us. Yes, obviously it is. Or else we would be like other countries, China and Russia, who has the capabilities and who are.
Does that make sense, though?
Huh?
Does that make sense, Carlos?
It does make sense.
That we can build a spaceship before we build a submarine?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes.
Considering the atmosphere and all the other variables that we have going into the unknown in the air versus.
For me, I'm a science person, and I study all this kind of stuff. So for me, it does make sense, and I totally understand why they're doing all this stuff. You know, like I get it. Like if I was a country and I wanted to take control of stuff, like they're not trying to take control of the water. They want to take control of what's in space. So it absolutely makes more sense that we're more focused on what's happening up there than we are happening what's in our waters. Okay, like ain't nothing that we could do besides build stuff underground in our water system, you know, other than see what's down there. But meanwhile, in our solar system, there's a lot of control and power. We got to think about what all of this stuff is about: control and power. So if I can control stuff up there, I control everything. Geostorm. If I can control satellites, I can control the weather. Okay. Like all that stuff is what's happening when, you know, in these space stations up here, you know, and every country, every advanced country has a space station. Every single advanced country. So it's like there are 7 billion people. So you mean to tell me that you don't think anybody's up there? Like, come on, this is like that's where people
But
live.
what I'm
up there
saying is
years. Like this is
that
what
this is a
like.
but what I'm saying is there is no guarantee that there is anything in space because we have no records of that. But what we do have records are of natural resources still located on Earth. And who's to know what's not being mined, what's not being found? We're in a place that when we were using natural resources that are running out that could be found underwater. There's a lot of stuff that could be under the Americas. I mean, the world is what, 70% water. So there's a lot of stuff resource wise that could still be unfound under this water. So that's what I mean. Even off of the coast of Africa, off of the coast of some of our richest countries, there's no telling what's underneath the sea compared to what's unknown in the air. But what I'm saying is they got money to build a floating station in space, but there's no money to explore the ocean. That's what I'm saying. And it's not even that.
It's not. It's about priorities. Okay, like just like you have where your priorities would like you would like them to be. The government have where they would like their priorities to be. It's not like just like you like even though you might have money to buy a whole new vehicle, you know, if you wanted to, it's not your priority right now to buy a whole new vehicle. Okay, so the United States is United States. I'm not even talking about the whole world. There are some countries who does, you know, who are, and then, you know, we do have marine biologists and people who are, you know, trying to figure out how they can explore more of the earth. It comes down, a lot of it comes down to pressure. You got to figure out how you're gonna survive down there first, you know. And so when they figure it out, then okay.
But you can't. But you can figure out how to survive in space, though. Well, there's no oxygen.
Like, where are you getting that? Because obviously, yes, they have been able.
I'm just saying. I feel like it's a manipulation. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's the thing. If people feel like just because that's how we feel, it doesn't mean that's the way it is.
Bye, Jazmeen.
Nah, I'm good. I'm listening.
Just because we feel it's a manipulation doesn't mean that it is an actual manipulation. You know, I don't believe that we're being manipulated by the government. I mean, the only thing that I believe we're being manipulated. Well, I mean, I won't say that. The government lie about everything. Let's start with that. All right,
exactly.
They lie about everything, okay, but one thing.
So why wouldn't they lie about space?
Well, because you got to, again, it's about.
They just gonna automatically tell us the truth about space.
It's not. No, I'm not.
We're gonna tell them the truth about that. We're gonna give them space.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they would never tell us about space. There's a lot of stuff we would never know. But
they might tell us that there's aliens.
Well, they're starting to. They're starting to because now they have no choice. They have no choice because the more and more
information they can't hide it.
They cannot hide it. Absolutely. So now so these same creatures are coming down to us. And even with Neil Armstrong, I think Neil Armstrong went and they saw something up there in space when they were there that told them, hey, this ain't what y'all want, dog. Don't come back here. You know, like this ain't what you want. Because for a long time, they wouldn't talk to nobody. None of them would talk to nobody. You know, but even today, like Area 51, like all this stuff don't exist for no reason. You know, like you can't just walk up to Area 51. They ain't gunning people down to Area 51 just to gun people down. Like there's something there, you know, obviously that they don't want people to find out about. But at some point, we're gonna find out about it, all right? Because now the government told us 60 years ago, aliens didn't exist. But now they just released, you know, a lot of freaking files showing us evidence that aliens in fact do exist, you know, and we call them aliens. Like that's not who they call themselves to be. Like they don't consider themselves a freaking alien, you know, but that's what we call them. And it's just like the more advanced this stuff would be, even with life on other planets. Are we naive to think that life doesn't exist on any other planet out in the solar system? Now, what does life look like? Now, life doesn't necessarily have to be in human form, but life certainly exists in other places, okay? The entire solar system. Matter of fact, there's probably millions of planets out there that has billions of people out here, you know, or things out here, you know, hell, we don't know, you know, but that's the thing. Just because we don't know, don't mean that it does not exist.
Imagine what like animals call us though, because animals communicate with each other. Just imagine what animals call people.
I watched Dr. Doolittle as a kid, so I know what animals
Yeah, I
call.
kind of know that. So it's
I
just
know animals.
it's just things you worry about. Like,
All right, so it is look, it's time for our weather report. Then we got our sports. It's time for weather. Weatherman, whoa. Weatherman, whoa.
Whoa.
Good, man.
Man, y'all right here talking about aliens and shit.
It's well, you know, we gotta talk about what we gotta talk about.
enlighten your brain, brother.
I was trying to, man. I told you how far the Earth was from the moon. You ain't see that?
You gotta get the information from the
You
brother,
said
man.
238,000 miles, didn't you?
Thank you.
What
You
if an
saw it. Nobody else did. I answered every question y'all said.
Listen, what if an alien swooped down while you were in the middle of chasing a hurricane, in the middle of the hurricane, and swept you up? Then what? Would you then believe aliens were real?
I got my phone. I'm gonna take a picture of that whole file I leave. Put it on Facebook. Say, for real. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Time to go.
So it's time for
It's time.
I'm coming out.
All right, so look. What up? Check this out. We had 2 confirmed deaths in Louisiana over the weekend from Hurricane Delta. Hurricane Delta really did a number on the currently affected part of Louisiana. Louisiana already got hit by a hurricane earlier, Sally. It got hit by Sally earlier. And so now Louisiana didn't really get to recover, so they had another hurricane. It was a category 2, and it touched down on Friday evening. So we had a couple of, spin ups this weekend in Mobile. It was a confirmed tornado in Mobile. We had confirmed tornadoes in South Carolina. Now Alabama really missed out because of the eye was still centered over Mississippi. Now if the eye was a little more western, like toward Arkansas, we would have saw some of them tornadoes and stuff. But other than that, we're not expecting no more hurricanes anytime soon. Now we do have a little tropical wave, but it's like 40% that's gonna form to something stronger. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. But everything else good for now.
Okay, so
Raining here in Birmingham now, I think.
Nah, it's cloudy.
I actually flew in through Hurricane Delta when I was coming in LA.
Yeah, it's cloudy right now in Birmingham.
I mean, it wasn't bad because it wasn't really. It was just some rain, pretty much. But they had to do like some roadway maneuvers and something that the pilot said to just like waste time. We had to waste like 15 minutes till it moved away from over the airport. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was lit, so it was fun to me. It kind of felt like a roller coaster. Everybody else was on there. Oh
man,
I didn't know whether to put my hands up. I almost wanted to, you know what I'm saying?
The same thing. The same thing happened to me when I was headed back to Denver one time. I was flying through Texas. I caught a connecting flight through Texas. And this was the day that Hurricane Sally was hitting in Texas because they closed the airport down at 5 o'clock that day. And it was like, yo, everybody, because I was trying to find food. They couldn't find no food. And I looked at the board, all the flights were canceled. I didn't know what was going on until I found out, like, oh, the hurricane's coming. All the flights were canceled. The only flights that weren't canceled were the Spirit flight, okay, was my flight. And so we got on a plane, we get in the air, and like I took a nap and we hit some turbulence, okay? And then I like roller coasters.
Anywhere.
I like roller coasters, but I'm not gonna be on the roller coaster and taking a nap, okay? That's not what's gonna happen. But this felt like a roller coaster, but I was in the middle of a nap, okay?
Yeah.
And that's not what was up, okay? So I didn't know what was happening. All I felt was the plane go down instantly, make a sudden drop. And that
roller
woke
coaster drop.
everybody started screaming. Everybody was yelling. You know, like nobody knew what was going on. And then the pilot came on the intercom. It was like, "Don't worry, folks. Everything is good. We flying through a little turbulence. It's a hurricane right now, but Spirit is the only airline that's gonna fly you through a hurricane." And he flew us through He flew us through that bit. He flew us through that bit. You know, I've ever since I stopped taking naps on flights ever since. You know, because I want to see what's going on around here. You know, yeah.
It's funny with flights because way less people have died in plane crashes and car crashes, but everybody's terrified during the plane ride. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you
Like
going so
praying
far
overhead.
up. Like you ain't never been that far up in the sky.
I'm not scared of plane. You know, I fly all the time, so I'm not like, you know, I like to fly. Like flying, like I'm ready to actually go skydiving. So, you know, it's a passion for me to actually fly. Like I'd be excited.
You're not thinking about am I gonna die more than when you on a plane. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm not even on the plane. Like,
but I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying like when my perception is, and that's why people are like, yeah, because like when you in traffic and stuff like that, people still on their phone and they texting, and you can almost run into somebody, and that's not gonna keep you from texting and driving. You get what I'm saying? But like that whole perception of being on the airplane and it suddenly dropping, and everybody's like, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
oh yeah.
It's like
you ain't used to all that
at all. So
right. Now, that part
it was fun to me just because I in my mind I'm like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. This is how I live life. So it was more seeing people terrified in a moment of amusement and fun. For me, it was kind of weird.
Yeah,
like I said, it felt like a roller coaster. It felt like the Scream Machine or something like that.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you, man.
Spirit would be like the Batman. Like, Batman was like the most uncomfortable roller coaster ever.
Oh boy.
Spirit's like that no name food. You got Walmart. Then you got the Great Value. Spirit is Great Value.
Listen, you gonna stop talking about Spirit. I'm not gonna let you do Spirit like that.
Spirit is the Great Value. Whoa.
Spirit get me there, and Spirit get me back. And guess what?
Spirit had me sitting next to a 6'3", 280-pound lady, and and they put her in the middle.
The balance plane.
In the middle.
6'3".
6'3", bro. Like
oh my
280.
god! All right,
like probably was more than that.
Listen, now it's time for
shoulder like this. She was in my seat, nigga. Shit, I thought it was a headrest.
You laid on that lady. You don't even know that lady, man.
Yeah, I put them on because she had because I had, me. They got the armrest and the thing. So she was like,
she took up the armrest.
I'm like, shit.
It is, it's now time for our first sport talk with Murdaham. What's good, man? What you got in the sports this morning?
Man, as you can see, you know what I'm saying? The Los Angeles Fakers, RIP Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
So look,
King James.
So look, you just said the Los Angeles what? The Fakers? So look, I play a little game. I wish I could show you. I play a little game on my phone all the time. It's called Bit Life, and so it's like a live the life simulation game. They just came out with a sports update where you can be a professional athlete, and so like they didn't call each team the actual teams. They call the teams like you got the men's basketball team is the Los Angeles Flakers.
The Flakers.
Yeah. Let me give you the some of the names for the basketball team. All right, so you got you got the Miami Humidity, the Chicago Sports, the Boston Clovers, the Houston Gears. No, it's the Los Angeles Lickers.
The Lickers, wow.
Yeah, the Lickers. The Detroit Gearheads, the Dallas Mavericks, the Golden State Tigers. The who?
The Atlanta team.
It's Atlanta. It's the Atlanta Loons.
Which is a bird.
Yeah. They got New Orleans Tromburners, the Orlando Soothsayers, the Charlotte Horny Toads, the Denver Blunt. Oh, the Denver Blunts. The Minnesota Howlers, Oklahoma City Tornadoes.
Denver has the worst selection of blunts too.
It depends on where you go. It depends on where you go. It depends on where you go.
Worst
It really
selection.
depends on where you go. It really
I'm a
depends.
backwoods smoker, so Denver has the worst selection of backwoods.
All right, so go ahead with the sports report.
Okay, so yeah, sports report. Lakers win last night. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Black man and black man, King James. You know, even though still bitch ass nigga. Triple double. You know, triple double last night. 4th ring. Yeah, 4th MVP. So shout out to King James. I'm a LeBron James hater just because I feel like he got a lot of.
Don't just say triple double. Give it the full rundown. Say
Whoa got it. Whoa got MVP. Whoa got
the rundown.
Playoffs.
Whoa got MVP. Whoa.
He did. He got a triple double, which is not uncommon. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's getting triple doubles now.
No. I say LeBron had 28 triple doubles in the NBA playoffs history. Okay, he got 28 triple doubles in the playoff history. Okay, that's what. That's
second behind Mike with the 4th most MVPs.
Okay, but LeBron's still playing, and guess what?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, Mike did it in 11 seasons.
He behind
LeBron did it in 17.
He's behind Magic Johnson.
I mean,
and he's still in.
What you mean that don't matter? That's a long time. That's a lot of extra basketball, bro. Like he should.
He still got a lot more.
He should be passing him in a lot of other stats, but the stats that he's passing people in are stats that if you play 20 years of basketball, you're gonna be top 10, and you better be top 10 in everything. You know what I'm saying? Starting basketball 20 years, like, come on, man. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I mean, considering nobody came into the league with the hype that LeBron James had.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah,
okay, so we're gonna get back into that though. So let me get this rundown right quick. Hey man, the Falcons have done what they should have did years ago. They fired Dan Quinn and the GM. How you feel about that? After they got drugged this Sunday, it was like 27-6 or something like that. So as soon as they got out the field, all the blame was like, "Hey, player, hey, go knock out for me, big dog."
They fired him before they got done with the game, for real.
Yeah, for real. I think that's why they got blown out like that.
Yeah.
He stopped coaching after that.
You gotta find us a new coach, man. He is dog. Yeah, they fired him. Yeah, leave all your stuff in the front then, man. Don't come back.
Yeah, man. Did you see the Cowboys game? I think we was all watching the Cowboys game together, man. Me, you, and Eli went that angle did right here.
Nah, that but it's crazy.
I was out at dinner last night, and I was watching the game too, and I saw it right then as well, man. Like that was crazy. $31 million, man.
Like,
31 million.
Like one of Carlos dreads. His ankle high sticking out on the side. But yeah, man. So yeah, man, heartbreaking injury, man. You never want to see anybody get injured, man. Especially a black quarterback. And it was a pretty horrendous injury if you got to see it. So prayers to Dak Prescott. Cowboys still managed to win 37-34. But yeah, man, prayers to Dak Prescott, who was trying to get that paper, man. And it's messed up because considering his situation, he was under the franchise tag, which is, if you don't know, franchise tag is only a year contract. He got $31 million, but he could have got another additional 4-year deal worth $144 million. So this is going to severely affect his earning potential in the NFL. Because you know how they do is once you hurt, man, they like, hey, unless you can, he gonna have to play a lot of years or a couple years. Yeah.
But he could pull a Tua
in order just to rebuild that value.
Now we don't know what Tua did yet. You know, he got drafted the first round, but he still ain't played his first
He still
season,
ain't
his
played
first
yet.
game yet. So we don't know what
You
he'll
know what I'm
do.
saying? And that's been what, 2 years almost?
Yeah, but
Nah, it's
check
been a
this
year.
out.
It's been a
The
year
point
now.
is,
A
the
year.
point is, he got a contract even in the midst. Even if he ain't played a game yet, he was able to sign a contract based upon coming off an injury. Okay, or even while dealing with an injury, he was still able to sign a contract. So that's all I was saying.
Yeah, Tua injury wasn't nearly as bad as Dak injury though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hopefully he will be able to shake back. But just the aura behind players like that and having those injuries, there's a lot of players had injuries like that. I think it was who that was. Ben Roethlisberger had Achilles tendon surgery and went out there and still played. bloody
What's his
sock and
name?
all.
What's his
You
name?
know?
Knocked his shoulder out of place. Matthew Stafford, he's still out there slinging
Yeah,
one shoulder.
still was out there slinging. Yep. So yeah. Moving on, the Ravens beat Washington 30-10. We got some Monday Night Football tonight going on. Also yesterday, the Seahawks beat the Vikings.
That was a
The
good
Dolphins
game
beat
right
the
there.
40. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a nail biter. They came out and won it at the end. 26-27 Seahawks. The Dolphins beat up on the 49ers
Now that surprised.
43-17.
Yeah, that surprised me right
Yeah.
there. That was
Yeah.
crazy. Hey, did you see the
Uh,
Kansas City game?
no, I didn't.
They
I didn't
lost.
see the
They ended up
Kansas City
losing to the
game.
Raiders, man.
Yeah,
Patrick
I
Mahomes
got
went
the
out there
score
did his
40-24. They still end up taking the L.
thing. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to be the quarterback though, because I mean, if you win, it's on you, and if you
If you lose,
lose,
it's
it's on
on you.
you.
Yeah.
Even though it could not be on you, but not
Yeah.
putting up the points is kind of,
But
your fault anyway.
you the quarterback, so you know you the leader over the team. You feel me?
Yeah, the real leader.
The real
So I
leader.
mean, back to the NBA in the finals. Now that this is over with, like, how do you think the next season is gonna go? You think they're gonna be ready to play on time, or
I
is it gonna be
mean,
another delayed season?
you know, the season kind of start next month.
Facts.
The NBA season start next month, so I don't know if they're gonna have a little rest or how they gonna do that. But hopefully they'll just resume schedule or probably play at the beginning of the year or something.
Because they didn't even have an All-Star game this year, did they?
Nah, they couldn't. Like they
Yeah.
canceled the season, then they sat down for a minute, say, look, we still got these playoffs to play, so we're gonna go down here to Orlando, play the playoffs, and then we're gonna do something
Yeah.
out of that. Whatever happened out of that.
But see, I think the next season will look a little different because I think they will be able to have a All-Star game, and it'll just look a little different. All-Star weekend, actually, with the slam dunk contest and everything. But I think like this year is going to look different.
That contest is weak, man.
Well, yeah,
They need to
it
find
is.
something else
But,
to do.
right, but then they won't have a live audience, so that's going to be the biggest difference of next year's kind of overall festivities. Is that they're going to still have the games as normal, but they won't be having the fans, and then everybody will be required to stay in the bubble. Now, but that's also another thing now, because we got to also look at the price tag that came along with having to be in the bubble and maintaining the bubble. So like there's a lot of I think a lot of things that the NBA will have to kind of take into consideration. Next season, they may encourage teams to create their own bubbles necessarily. It just depends, I think, on what the overall season will look like. And I think the number one thing for me is like looking at the price tag. Like how much did it cost to operate the NBA season without having a fan base to bring in those dollars? So like what did they do to generate revenue? And also what was the overall expense that they had to pay? And did it make sense for the league? Like it made sense to move forward with the games, obviously, and do it the way they did, but did it make sense dollar-wise? So I think that'll be also a consideration.
I think the NBA got a little more money to handle situations than like the NFL, MLB. Even though their contracts is a whole lot different, I think that, the NBA being the NBA, you got a lot more people behind you. And you can maneuver a lot of things. Like with the NBA, you can throw a bubble. You can't throw no bubble with the NFL or the MLB. So
I mean, you could. I mean, baseball has way more money than basketball and football.
And
So
football, yeah,
if
way more.
if anybody would be able to
Contract
do a
wise,
bubble and
not
just
sport wise, contract wise.
sport wise, that's why it's America's pastime. Like baseball is a man. Look it up. Baseball
You
is the
gotta look
highest
at
grossing sport in America.
well, yeah, America is still like
Just based
75.
off of the games, just based
You
off of
know,
the games played in baseball. There's 162 games played in baseball with similar seating numbers compared to basketball and football stadiums. So that in itself is, you know what I'm saying, tripling and doubling
But the
the
baseball games
revenues
don't
that.
always pack out though. I done been to a
Yes, they
couple of
do.
baseball.
Man, it's
Not
been when you
all
talk
of them.
about the Cubs and you talk about the Yankees and you talk
No,
about the
I'm talking about like
Mets
the
and the Dodgers,
Braves, like
the
certain
Braves,
games.
man, the Braves. Okay, yeah, certain games when teams are in town, but the majority there have been seasons that the Yankees sell out every season, every game. Uh, Home teams, baseball, and a lot of basketball teams don't sell out. Baseball teams make way more money than just in general. The Major League Baseball in itself makes way more money than the NFL and NBA, and we both know why.
and you got to look at right. So you got to think about there's a lot of
The
variance
demographic.
in the baseball as well. So as far as like for instance, the amount of memorabilia sold, the amount of like just
Yeah,
different like it's a lot. They kind of like I bet you like baseball because baseball is sell like baseball the way that they're bringing in way more money I believe than basketball could possibly bring in. I think they're bringing in a whole lot more. Let's do a little research real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I want to know this answer too.
yeah.
Let's see. Major League Baseball income. Let's do 2019. Major League Baseball revenue for 2019 season hits a record 10.7 billion. And that was in 2019. The year prior, it was 10.3 billion. So it was slightly a $400 million increase. Now let's see NFL. Okay, so in the 2019, the 32 teams of the NFL generated revenue of 15.26 billion. So they did bring in the NFL brought in slightly more than Major League Baseball
Okay.
in
And the
revenue.
NBA bought in about 9.
And let's see, NBA. Okay, you
Bought
said
in about 9. Yeah.
about 9. Okay, yeah, about 8.76 billion in the 2018-2019 season. But that comes from 30 NBA teams. Then you have 32 NFL teams, and you
30
have
30 MLB.
30 MLB
Yeah.
teams. Okay,
Yeah.
so each team they all average around the same number of teams, but it's slightly different. But in essence, in NBA doesn't bring anywhere near what Major League Baseball or what the
NFL.
NFL bring in. Yeah, and NFL is bringing in way more money than everybody. They're bringing in
Yeah.
15 billion. A year. So what's your guys' take on that?
That's weird right there. That's something I didn't know. I would just based off of the demographic of baseball in general, you would think that, you know what I'm saying, more people, or they just the revenue was higher for baseball, considering this America's pastime, quote unquote.
Now, I
So
knew,
okay, so
I knew NFL was gonna be up there, but I didn't know it was gonna be that high though.
so on
I didn't know
average,
it was gonna be that high either.
each Major League Baseball team generated almost 330 million in revenue in 2018. Let's see.
But see, you got different
But
amount of
but
players
then
that you
but
keep
look
though
at this
too.
though. But peep this though. For NFL to have made more money than baseball, the average NFL salary is like $1 million less than the average MLB salary.
Oh no, I think it's more than that. But like, so the Dallas
Way
Cowboys,
more than that.
yeah, there's way more than that. The Dallas Cowboys generated
On average across the board.
the Dallas Cowboys generated $980 million in revenue in 2019. Okay, so that's the Dallas. So on average, the Major League Baseball teams bring in roughly 330 million on average. But to put it in perspective, this one major national football NFL team, Dallas Cowboys generated 980 million. Now let's look at an NBA team. Let's see.
Look up the Lakers or the Knicks,
Yeah,
somebody like that in a large
expensive
market.
team, yeah. Cause like the Yankees, they brought in $1 billion last year.
Yeah.
By themselves, the Yankees bring in.
So the average NBA team itself is worth not 1.9 billion. Let's see what the Lakers' income was. Okay, the Los Angeles Lakers are number 2 on the list at 4.4 billion. This is how much
the Knicks was number 1.
Oh, Brooklyn, the Knicks of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
One of them, or Dallas.
Yeah.
Hell.
Okay,
Sorry, Dallas
so
up there.
their revenue is the Lakers' revenue is 434 million. Okay, 434 million. Their operating income is 178 million.
Was that from last year?
This is calculated February 2020. So this is as of for last year.
That was the shortened season, so we probably could.
This is for last year.
That was the full season.
Yeah.
That wasn't the short. Yeah, that was the full season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Player expenses is 120 million. Gate receipts is 104 million. Revenue per fan is roughly $54. And they have a metropolitan area of 13.1 million. So let's see.
But see, the baseball tickets is a lot cheaper than the motorsport tickets, though.
When the Lakers were purchased in 1999, they were purchased for 20 million. But in 1998, when they were purchased for 268 million. But they have a total net team value now of 4.4 billion. Yeah. All right. So yeah, but we certainly appreciate that with our morning sports talk, Murdaham and everybody. All right, it's the end of the show. What we got, man? What's coming up, man? We got some more good stuff coming up this week. We got a young lady tomorrow that I think we're going to highlight her clothing. She has a good clothing. She's going to be in the spotlight tomorrow. We're going to have that on the show tomorrow with Murdaham. And I think we got a lot of good stuff coming up this week. Salida Soto would be also featured in the spotlight this week. Let's see, Jazmeen. What you looking forward to? Anybody you want to have on the show this week? And look, let's find people to have on the show. You guys know if anybody doing anything good, we want to have them on the show. We want to interview them. We want to feature Murdaham's going to feature them in the spotlight, or we're going to have them on as a guest, part of our guest interview. We want to highlight people that's doing awesome things in our communities. So please, please, please let us know who we have and what we have going on. So any final words? Let's see, Weatherman Woe, what you got?
Roll Tide, keep your head up.
Roll Tide, keep your head up. Jazmeen, what you got?
Do something different today that you didn't do yesterday to make tomorrow better.
Okay, Murdaham, what you got?
Donald G's Trump, Roll Tide.
Donald G's Trump, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right. So look, listen, we're back tomorrow, everybody. Same place, same time. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from on Facebook. And also take the word LOS to 474747. And we're giving away a flight to
Las
Vegas, live in Las Vegas. So we'll be in Vegas. We need you guys to like, comment, tag, share so that
enjoy Las Vegas.
Participate. But appreciate everybody. We'll see you all right here on tomorrow. Same place, same time. It's been a great Monday. Enjoy your day, everybody. And it's been a pleasure here at the Carlos Chaverst Jr. Morning Show. We out.
It's the Carlos Chaverst Show. You and me will always be tight. Chaverst giving up the day and night. And even when you start acting like a fool, we appreciate you cause it's all for the move. I know that I could always count on you to bring us all the new and latest news. And every day is a black man in this world. You know there's no one we'd rather hear it from. You and me will always be tight. Chaverst giving up the day and night. And even when you start acting like a fool, we appreciate you cause it's all